guys. Paperboy Trucker back at you, starting the week. It's Sunday afternoon, about 4:30. I've already gone around the truck and kind of done my inspection. You know, making sure my tires are good, all my securements still good, all my lights, blinkers, brake lights. I have come out here before and had a flat tire, so you never know. In fact, I had a drive tire one time. I came out here and it was flat. Luckily, I got into the shop pretty quick and they replaced it, but you never know, man. Just you got to go around and check everything, make sure you're road ready. I opened the hood, checked the oil, make sure the coolant was good. All my equipment's here, edge protector tool. I had to fill up my windshield washer fluid. It took an entire jug of windshield washer fluid, so it was pretty low. So yeah, I'm gonna drive about 3 hours this evening, get into Oklahoma about 15 miles. There's a nice rest area there that'll have some parking spots that time of the night, and then that'll leave me about an hour and a half. You remember, this is that load of OSB plywood I picked up in Carthage, Texas Friday morning. It delivers in Tulsa tomorrow morning, so I'll have about an hour and a half to go in the morning, and then hopefully go to Fort Smith to give me a nice long haul. So let me get on the road. More later. Okay, everybody, I'm here at my customer in Tulsa, M&M Lumber, and this is my new friend Ryan right here, the unloader. Really good guy, nice fella. He actually helped me roll up my two big lumber tarps, which you'll see when you get out here and start rolling up lumber tarps that it's much easier when you have somebody at the other end helping you flop them over and roll. Well, I roll them up, but just having somebody on the other end to help flip them over is very nice. Turns out Ryan is studying for his CDL permit and is looking at becoming a trucker. So of course we talked about Maverick, and so yeah, we'll see how that goes. So here's the load, guys. I had 10 straps on this load, 3 over the back section, 3 over the front section, and 2 on each middle section. And here goes Ryan, expert forklift driver, grabbing them off. OSB plywood, strand board, oriented strand board, I guess is the correct term. So you can see how they do it. It says each bundle has 69 sheets in it. APA rated OSB, 7/16, not quite half an inch. I'll tell you, this stuff was really dirty on the top of some of these pallets. When I got up there to roll the tarps out, man, there was like a 1/4 inch of sawdust on the top. Just filthy. I guess it doesn't matter though, as long as it stays dry. All right, so just giving you a shot of the place, basically a lumber yard. I tell you, it was really tight getting down here though, because I had to meander through the yard. They got a yard on the other side of the street, and I had to come through a couple of real tight places. There goes Ryan again. There he goes. But yeah, there was 3 or 4 really tight places I had to turn through to get over here. And then when I came in from the other side of the road, there was another truck in here, so I couldn't come in. They had me go down to the other end of the road and turn around and then come in this way. And yeah, not really enough room for big trucks, I'll tell you. Not real comfortable. And getting out of here, I don't think is going to be real comfortable. You can see I'm going to have to come through here and make a right turn and go over that railroad track and down the road. So, but it can be done because I've seen another truck do it. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff you get into out here. So, there's Ryan. He's unloading it pretty quick. I'll be out of here probably in another 10 minutes. Send in my paperwork, let them know I'm empty, and then I'm expecting to probably get a deadhead to Fort Smith, but I don't know that for sure. So in fact, I'm gonna get in here and start filling out part of my form, you know, get it ready to send in, because he's only got like 2 more lifts out of there and I'll be empty. All right, more down the road. Okay, everybody, Paperboy back at you on the road, headed toward Fort Smith. I don't remember if I mentioned it or not, but right after I left my delivery back there in Tulsa, they sent me a deadhead order to Fort Smith. It's about, I don't know, a little over a couple hour drive, which is what I was expecting. And I wanted to address some questions. I had a new viewer last night send me a message asking some good questions, so I thought I would try to deal with that now while I'm driving. So Thomas sent me a few questions. The first one is, how many deliveries in a day or a week do you do typically? Okay, so I'm going to address that more on a weekly basis. I mean, because, well, I would just say off the top of my head, in a week's time, I would probably make 4 deliveries on average. Could be less, could be more, but 4 is probably a good average. So like, take this week, which we just started. I mean, it's Monday morning at about 9:30 right now, and I just delivered the load that I took home with me over the weekend. So it's Monday morning, I've made 1 delivery, and I'm gonna go to Fort Smith and pick up a load that probably will deliver on Wednesday somewhere. It's possible it might deliver Tuesday, but most of the loads out of Fort Smith are pretty long loads, so I'm thinking it'll probably be a Wednesday delivery. So let's say that delivery on Wednesday will be delivery number 2, and then I would reload somewhere with a delivery appointment probably Thursday, maybe even Friday, but let's say it's Thursday. So that's going to be delivery number 3. Then I would reload and maybe go deliver somewhere else on Friday. That'd be delivery number 4, and then pick up a home load. Or maybe that delivery I picked up on Thursday is my home load. So that would be a 3 or 4 delivery week. Now, if it was a week where I did not get a load out of Fort Smith, you know, it might end up being a 4 or 5 delivery week, because I probably would end up with more shorter hauls. So anyway, that's my answer to that. Another question was, how many days off do first-year drivers get? So I'm not sure if if you're asking about like vacation days or weekend off days, I mean, let's address the weekends first. You know, the amount of home time you get on the weekends really depends on the division you're in. You know, whether you're in the, you know, if you're in the Midwest region like me, for example, those guys are on a cycle to get home every week. Now, if you don't want to be on a weekly cycle and you want to stay out longer, it's simple to do. You just tell them. Just work it out with your fleet manager. And then we have other divisions like our USA division that have to stay out at least 2 or 3 weeks at a time. And then I think for each week they stay out, they get an additional day off, you know, once they get home. And then I know some of the other regions, you know, like well, I know I had an interested applicant a couple of weeks ago that lived over in Virginia, and the only thing they were hiring for right now out of there was for driving jobs that stayed out, you know, at least a couple of weeks. So I guess it just kind of depends on where you're at and what your division is. But as for like vacation days or PTO days, paid time off, I think seems like they prorate some days for you your first year. But after you complete your first full year, you get 5 vacation days. You know, and those are paid. You know, and the way Maverick pays you for those is they put a value of each one of those days of what one of your average days is worth. You know, they'll take your average weekly income and divide it by 5 or something like that and come up with an average earnings per day, and that's what they pay you if you take a PTO day, a paid time off day, or a vacation day, whatever you want to call it. Then after you complete 2 years, you get 10 vacation days. Like me, I've been with Maverick for about 2.5 years. I've got 10 vacation days. You know, and I think you can earn more after that, but I don't remember exactly what it is, you know. I think there's a way to get up to 3 weeks off, or 15 days. I need to look at that though, so don't hold me to that one. I haven't crossed that bridge yet, so I'm not sure. Another question was, how do you deal with merging or lane switches? Well, let's say I'm going down the freeway and I've got traffic from the right trying to merge in. I've learned, you know, and they'll teach you in training to maintain your lane. Now, I've found once I get into busy, you know, more city areas where you know, there's 4 or 5 lanes of traffic and lots of on and off ramps, I've learned to try to not be in the far right lane if I don't need to be. So I'll try to get into a middle lane and just stay there until I need to get to one side or the other to get off. Because that way I don't get caught up in that merging situation. But you can't, what you have to be careful, you know, you don't want to get into a position where you've got traffic trying to merge onto the freeway beside you and you're trying to speed up or slow down, because you can't do either one of those very easily. You know, it's better just to maintain your lane. You know, you've got a right to be there, and it's up to that driver that's merging to either speed up or slow down. But you know, one of the main causes for accidents out here for big rig drivers is merging, or not so much merging, but switching lanes. So you want to minimize your switching lanes, because that is a high cause of accidents. So just pick a lane and stick with it when possible. That's my advice. Okay, next question. Thomas says he's currently making about $50,000 a year with his part-time job. So I assume then he's working a full-time job and also a part-time job, and he's making $50,000. So he says, is it a good idea to change careers and become a truck driver at age 41? Well, that's not an easy question to answer, Thomas. I mean, just financially, yes, you'll make a lot more money than that. And I'm assuming you're working, if you're working a regular job and a part-time job, you're probably working, I don't know, 50, 60, 65 hours, 70 hours a week. I don't know. So you're a pretty busy fella right now. And you'll put in a lot of hours out here too. But you'll make a lot more money, I promise you. You know, they advertise Maverick now, first-year drivers. You know, with the pay raises we've gotten this year, I mean, you'll be making around 80 grand a year. You know, so yeah, I mean, financially speaking, yeah, it's worth it. But the other issues are, what about your family life? You know, if you're married with kids at home, you know, you got a whole nother set of issues to weigh. You know, I'm for, you know, if you've got kids at home, you should stay home and be with the kids. You know, they need you at home. But, you know, that depends on your situation. You know, if you've got a strong wife that able or willing to take on all of that work by herself, with you just there for, you know, the short weekends, it can work. Maybe you've got extended family nearby, you know, grandparents that help out. It just depends, you know. But you know, it's going to be different. It's hard on your relationship, your marriage, your parent duties. So you know, if you're a single guy, hey, it's easy, man. You could save up so much money so fast, it's ridiculous. You could stay out here and save up tons of money fast. But and at age 41, you act like age 41 is too old to start trucking or something. Which, you know, I'm about to turn 60 in a couple of weeks, so that's funny to me. I mean, 41, man, you're still young. You're in the prime of your working career. You can do whatever you want to, man. So it just depends, you know. You got to try to make a good decision for you and your family, and you know, because you won't be around as much. You won't be able to get stuff done around the house. You know, keep up with things that need to be done, and your relationships and all of that. You know, it's that part of it's tough. But you know, with Maverick, they do a good job of getting us home on the weekend. And if they didn't, I would not be happy with this gig. I promise you, it would have caused me to leave already and do something else. You know, I mean, if I was not getting home on the weekends, you know, there's other jobs around where I live that I could do, and I wouldn't make as much money, but I'd make enough money to live on, and I could be home every night. So, you know, you just got to look at that. So, all right, That was a long segment. I hope I answered your questions, Thomas. See you in Fort Smith.